6 hours after yesterday's session, I started feeling DOMs in my glutes, in that outer, kind of upper outer portion of my glutes, the glute medius. And that's because of the lunges. This morning I woke up after a night duty, so 12-hour night duty, you know the story, limited sleep, limited food, limited recovery basically, and I am so freaking sore right now. It was a struggle to get motivated to even come into the garage. The kids helped me out today big time. They kept me smiling, kept me mucking around. So the first part of the session was kind of cool. Good to have them around, but it was a pain, man. So I spent a bit of time in the bottom of the squat. Even before this video, I was kind of ATGing body weight, just spending a lot of time kind of stretching out the glutes, stretching out the adductors. Both the glute medius and the adductors are really sore right now. Which goes to prove that lunges are a must. You guys have been telling me that unilateral leg work is a must for the sake of balance of the hip. When you're doing kind of two-footed moves like deadlifts or squats, there's a lot of muscles that are not engaged. The glute medius is one of them, and who knows, man? Who knows what's happening with my hip? Maybe it's a glute medius weakness that's kind of making the TFL work hard, making the hamstring work hard, making all sorts of things work hard. But all I know is that there's no hip pain right now. There's different type of hip pain, which is the muscular pain, which is kind of the good pain. But there's no discomfort. I'm just really, really sore. So I think lunges are a keeper. I think GHDs are a keeper. In the last month, basically, I've just experimented a lot to kind of address the glute issue. It's been on and off basically for 6 months now that I've kind of struggled with this issue. But in the last month, I feel like I've made a lot of progress. I've kind of discovered the GHD back raises as a staple. I want to say already after just a single day, but I don't want to be too hasty in my conclusions. I already feel that the lunges are also adding into the mix as a keeper. So I've got a couple of keepers here. The GHD back raises, the lunges. I think there are really, really good combo exercises to go along with the squat. I've said this in the past. I think the squat is the greatest exercise of all time. I truly believe that squatting is the best. It's better than the deadlift because it's especially if you're going ATG. Squats are better than the deadlift because there is acute angles both in the hip and the knee. The deadlift depends how you do it. Some people even cheat that out completely and basically limit the amount of angles in both the hip and the knee by doing sumo, by doing all sorts of kind of weird geometry stuff happening. But I feel because of the acute angles of the knee and the hip in an ATG squat, the way I do it, kind of narrower stance, shoulder width apart, it's by far the most superior exercise. Now, I can already hear some of you guys say, the most superior exercise is the exercise that allows you to do the most weight. I've never kind of believed that. I don't think intensity, weight, loading is the only thing that matters in an exercise. I think range of motion matters. I think if squats require a lot of mobility, that also matters. By the way, this is 180. Really, really sore. I was really happy how this felt. Let's see how it moved. Pretty happy with that. Really, really happy with that. The glute medius basically has a mind-muscle connection right now because it's really sore. So I feel really, really stable kind of out of the bottom. So anyway, as I've said, I think ATG squats are the best exercise, but they do need support to balance out the body. And I feel like the GHD back raise and now the lunges are going to sort me out. That's my gut feeling right now. The sumo deadlift as well is something that I'm experimenting right now. I'm still not gunning the technique. You can see here I've tried to do a frog stance. Once again, you guys have recommended for me to bring my feet in a little bit more. So this is kind of like a frog stance. So I'm not really wide on my feet. I'm sitting down, kind of like a squat almost. I'm squatting the weight up, leg pressing the weight up. Still, I would love to have more mobility in the adductors. I would like to tell you as well that I've been stretching my adductors, especially kind of when I go to bed, and I just kind of like do I think it's called the butterfly when you lie down. Just kind of just throw the knees out, heels in. I've been doing a bit of that. I've been doing kind of like the I don't know the name, when you kind of on your knees and you spread your knees out, knees and elbows, and you spread your knees all the way out. Basically, I'm just trying to like spread my hips open, get the adductors really open, because really, if you want to excel in this movement, you have to have adductor mobility. And I don't know, I feel like some of these guys who are really good at sumos, I feel like they could almost do the split, the splits, the mid splits. Middle splits are going to be easy for them, because if you can load the muscle like that in such a way that you're sumoing and you're vertical back, and you can splay your freaking knees that far, like I feel like these dudes and girls can do the splits with no problem, or even get close. Anyway, so I decided to load up a little bit just to see how a heavier weight feels. And the moment I started kind of doing this, I felt like I was leaning over a little bit more. See how my hips rise a little bit? I think that's because I can't get my knees further apart. Anyway, there's a lot to be learned here. There's a lot of technique to be learned. It's only like, the third day that I'm actually doing this, fourth day. So I'm planning to do it every day. I'm planning to do it every day just for the sake of practice, not for hypertrophy or anything like this, just to kind of familiarize myself with the movement, and to give the adductors a bit of a stretch every day, which seems to be also translating to my squat as well. And then obviously, you guys know how much I love back raises. Right now I'm doing back raises one day, lunges the next day. So that's what I'm doing right now. Here you can see, I don't know if you can see it properly, I've got 2 black plates and 2 green plates here, in an attempt to kind of like increase the range of motion. But this was kind of really hurting my knees at the back of the knee, because the bench at the back is kind of a little bit too low. So anyway, for the next set, I think I took it off. I ended up doing 5 sets of 20 here, with the stick on my back, but still kind of playing around with all the setup that I've got. And the other thing was, one of the screws which is holding up that foam underneath the bench was kind of coming out, so I had to kind of like screw that back in. So I don't know, I would really love a proper GHD machine so I can just really go bonkers on it. Right now I'm kind of planning to go to the gym once a week, so I can really properly use the GHD and really properly use the seated calf raise. I think once a week is a good aim to have. We're all busy, we're all got families and whatever, so I can't really make it to the gym every day. It's impossible. If it wasn't for this setup at home, I don't think I'd be training every day. It's just too hard, man. It's way too hard to kind of go to the gym, come back, shower. It just takes like a 3-hour thing, man. Sometimes even 4. Like some sessions here, I'm training for 2 hours. So if you think about driving on the road and back, it's too much. I'm a big fan of having your own gear at home. Obviously, minimalistic approach with that. We're not billionaires walking around, so I'll squat rack, some weights, and a good barbell, and off you go. The rest of this stuff you can kind of come up with, as you can see here. I've just put some plates and some wood together. Very inexpensive. And you can see here, this is where I'm like, man, this screw is killing me, man. It's like really up my Achilles. So I just drilled it back in over here. And after this, I did some calf races as well. Now, you guys made a really good recommendation about using a weight belt, kind of like we use for dips and pull-ups, and just put weights on there and do standing calf races. I really wanted to try that today, but I wanted to give the ATG calf races a go again. And for some reason, they've kind of lost that little spice with me. I don't know why. Balance is an issue, whatever. So maybe tomorrow, the next day, I'll try your suggestion with standing calf races. I feel like I've given seated calf races a good go at home. I just can't set it up really well for some reason. I think I need a seated calf raise machine, but I don't really want to buy one. So I might just have to kind of settle with standard calf raises. Those are so much easier to load with a belt. You can go single leg. Single leg basically puts 92 kilos on one leg. So really easy to load standing calf raises. So I might end up just doing that. I'm still believing calves need to be trained. They need to be strong. They need to be supple. They feed into the ankle. They restrict dorsiflexion. Dorsiflexion is really key in the squat. So lots of these ideas happening right now. But I want to tell you, this is exactly what I'm thinking. This is exactly what my recipe is for the future. Some of you guys say you really enjoy when I speak my mind like this, because I let you guys into my mind and see exactly what I'm thinking, how I'm planning to move ahead and improve. Right now, it's addressing the weaknesses in my hips, and then I can really start pushing the squat, because you can't really put volume in the squat if you're feeling shitty with the hips. So just trying to sort it out, trying to find exactly the perfect exercise to address the weakness at hand, so then I can really put volume into the squat, therefore increase the squat. But that's where my mind is right now. Like, a lot of you guys, there's been a couple of comments of you guys saying, what's the point of squatting every day? You haven't really improved, blah, 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 blah. All that kind of thing. I understand where you're coming from. A lot of you guys are new to the channel, so you haven't seen the struggles that I've had, which is cool. Basically, just know that I love training. This is better than sitting on a couch. And the fact that I'm trying to work it out by myself is something that I enjoy. It's not maybe the most optimal, but this is both an intellectual journey for me as well as a physical one. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I'm feeling a little bit less sore and I can put in another good session. All right, guys, catch you.